We just totally dumb for not knowing this.
Wait, women get knighted?
Sir this or dame that. Already we're learning things and we're already 1 minute in.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be checking out an interesting video. Something I hadn't really ever thought of. It's titled, Do People Who Get Knighted by the Queen Get Anything For It?
Oh, like money or...
I have no idea. Prestige, and you always hear they're a knight, and you're like, oh, that's really cool.
You have to call him sir.
You know that's like a high respect and everything, but what do they get out of it?
Yeah.
I think back in the day, it was probably money, land, and obviously title.
A medal.
I don't know. Anyway, guys, we're going to check this out and find out because I have no idea. Before we do, though, please like, share, and subscribe if you like this type of content. And also go check out the Iceland vlogs that just came up because they're all on a playlist. So definitely go check those out because
and they're pretty good. I had fun doing them.
I'm really happy with them and how they turned out. So I would love for you guys to go check it out. Anyway, guys, let's get into it and see what are the perks of being knighted.
So in the video today, we're answering a viewer question because Michael S. asks us, do people get anything when they're knighted by the Queen? As we've discussed before, and will no doubt talk more about in the future, as a direct result of her position as sovereign of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, the Queen has a large array of powers at her disposal that are entirely unique to her. Of these powers...
So this must have been before she
passed, yeah.
So now it'd be being knighted by the King.
Yes.
Which, I guess that'd be interesting. To say you're knighted by the King as opposed to
I wonder if he's already knighted people.
Yeah,
being in powder.
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know if this video is gonna get into, but I don't know the process of being knighted. I'm pretty sure it's for if you've done something extraordinary, to show up, showcase your country.
Yeah, getting a medal
talent.
in the military, like special medal of honor or something.
Well, I think through military you can be knighted, or I know a lot of musicians have been knighted.
Oh.
Or actors and stuff like Sir Michael Caine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
I think I heard about that. Yeah. Anyway.
That are entirely unique to her. Of these powers is the ability to knight a person she feels is particularly worthy of such an honor. But this brings up the question, what do you actually get for being knighted, both today and historically? To begin with, it's important to first understand that there are several so-called orders of knighthood that the Queen can appoint to a person. What exactly a person did to get the honor and what their job is usually taken into account when deciding which one they belong to. For example, the Queen usually appoints members of the military or civil service to the Order of Bath, while people who do work in foreign relations will usually be appointed to the Order of St. Michael and St.
So he's showing a picture of a medallion of some kind, so I'm wondering if that's also received in the process of knighthood.
I think that could be just a seal. Not for sure. No, I'm not for sure. I'm just saying.
Maybe it's a different kind of sword you have to knight with.
I don't know. I had no idea that there were levels of knighthood. Though.
No, that's
honestly.
Already we're learning things, and we're already 1 minute in.
St. Michael and St. George. By far the most well-known order, though, is the seemingly Bill and Ted named Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, which is often shortened to simply the Order of the British Empire. For this one, there are no specific criteria for appointment, and it's generally the order that members of the public will be appointed to. That being said, the Queen is under no obligation to appoint individuals to any specific order, and as the fount of honor, she is considered the ultimate authority in these matters. However, there is only one honor noted to be given entirely at the Queen's own will. This is the Royal Victorian Order. All other appointments typically are made at the suggestion of specific government officials or royal advisors. Though, as mentioned, the Queen can ignore any suggestions at her own discretion because, she's the Queen. In addition, members of the public can nominate anyone they feel is deserving of a knighthood or a specific honor by contacting the relevant authority and providing a detailed account of that person's...
Who's the relevant authority?
I have no idea.
People of the public can't just go and talk to the Queen or King. They just...
Well, I'm assuming you would write it into someone Parliament or your local county government of some sort.
Maybe you can petition for it, I guess.
No, you just said you write in. That's not petition. You just give enough people write in of something someone that has done something extraordinary. I guess I would put. I don't know who you write to.
For the curious, it is not possible to nominate yourself for a knighthood, though several services exist that will petition for one on your behalf. For a fee, of course. On that subject, it's here that we at Today I Found Out would like to note that neither myself nor the co-author of this piece, the just as British Carl Smallwood of Fact Fiend fame, have not yet been knighted, despite years of tireless work getting the masses interested in learning stuff which has to be generally good for society. Right? I mean, the Queen does take suggestions and all of that. Just saying. In any event, every order of
Poor guy.
knighthood has several grades, which are comparable to military rankings, with higher
Okay.
grades being considered more prestigious in nature. The exceptions to this being the Order of the Garter and the Order of the Thistle, both of which only have
Garter?
a single grade, knight or lady, depending on the gender of the person being given the award.
Okay.
It should also
Wait, women can get knighted?
Maybe that's the Order of the Garter.
I don't know. I don't know why I assumed that women can be knighted, but I just assume, like, I guess to be made, is it called a lady? No,
Lord
that'd be
and a
Lord and Lady. Never mind.
I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, when that threshold, like, happened. Like, who was the first woman who was knighted?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Maybe I'll do that video.
also be noted that some grades, such as being a companion in the Order of Bath, do not allow the individual to use such accolades as Sir or Dame. Then there's the Honor Knight Bachelor, which is basically a knighthood where the person isn't admitted to any specific order that we mentioned previously. This also has a single grade of Knight. As you may have surmised from that, this is only bestowed upon men. So this all brings us around to pretty much the only real and tangible benefit that is conferred upon someone who is given this honor, and that's a title. You see, anyone outside of clergy members who the Queen bestows the grade of Knight or Dame in any of the aforementioned orders can, if they so wish, use the title Sir or Dame, or again, in the case of the Order of the Garter or Thistle, Lady. And they can.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Judi Dench,
Who's that?
the actress, Judi Dench, she 007 mom.
Okay. Oh,
you-
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I've seen her Dame Judi Dench.
Oh, so maybe
So
she's been knighted.
I'm guessing from this information that she's been knighted.
Oh, possibly.
do this in all of their day-to-day dealings. Individuals named a commander, member, companion, or lieutenant of a specific order, meanwhile, may instead add the letters signifying this. For example, they can add OBE, signifying the individual is an officer of the Order of the British Empire, or CMG, signifying the individual is a companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George, to the end of their name. And if you're wondering, yes,
Mouthful.
foreigners can be given an honorary knighthood by the Queen, but they can't use the title Sir, Dame, or Lady, meaning they can't use the one and only tangible benefit of being knighted. As with the aforementioned lesser grades, they can.
The seems like the main perk you get for being knighted is the name.
Well, no, because even if you can't use the name, you could still be like, I was knighted by the
Bragging
Queen.
rights, but you can't
Yeah.
actually prove it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
you
someone would
have
prove
to
it.
call me by sir this or dame that.
Okay, I'm kind of curious. I don't know if there's is there a law where you have to call them sir, or I guess it's respecting you would just
Yeah,
anyway.
kind of like with doctors.
Yeah,
when
so-
they get a doctorate, or even reverends.
True.
They go by reverend
Add the
something or
letters to
other.
the end of their name if they want, but something like Bill Gates KBE, it just doesn't have the same ring as Bill. And yes, both Bill Gates and his wife Melinda have been given an honorary knighthood and a damehood. If either of
What?
them were to become British citizens at some point, it is usual for such individuals to then be able to officially use their titles, with the knighthood no longer being considered just honorary. On that
I had no idea. I guess I mean
Wouldn't it be Sir William? That sounds better.
I don't know what his actual name is, but
Bill is short for William usually.
no, not always. I guess you could say for what Bill Gates has contributed to the war, it's not that shocking that he's been
I
knighted.
guess.
Note, with the exception of a title, all of the other benefits conferred by a knighthood are intangible in nature, to the point that even a site dedicated to helping people receive such an award noted that the main benefit is simply a raised profile. Given, however, that a decent percentage of those knighted already have fairly high profiles, this is of little benefit to those individuals. This is in keeping with historical precedent, with the title of knight throughout history being largely ceremonial in nature, especially in the United Kingdom. For example, as noted by Royal Collection Trust, the title in ancient times didn't confer any monetary benefit upon a person, since anyone granted the title of knight would, to quote them, be expected to have the financial ability to support the honour of knighthood, so that he could provide himself with arms, armour, horses, and the required number of armed followers to render military service to his sovereign for a minimum period each year.
So you have to be fairly wealthy
Yeah.
to be able to support a small army for a whole year and horses and everything, at the time. But for some reason, I actually thought, I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking, back in the day, you had a bunch of, perks of being a knight.
Yeah.
You get land and money and stuff. But it sounds like
Like they would.
he just says,
sponsor you or something.
totally the opposite. It's
Yeah.
you have to already be wealthy to even get a knighthood, especially back then.
Huh.
That said, one historical advantage to being a knight is that if you were captured in battle, you'll in all likelihood be set up in relatively nice accommodations and then ransomed, rather than potentially slaughtered as the common folk were. Although, if it was obvious you had a good deal of money or powerful connections, it didn't really matter if you were a knight or not. This catch and release ransom system was pretty much par for the course for the affluent. It's also worthy of explicitly mentioning that historically the title of knight was seen as being so exclusive that nobody, not even a king, could be born a knight. To maintain the exclusivity of the position, and no doubt because of the political benefits of the change, King Henry VIII made the ability to confer the title of knight upon a person something that he and only he could do. The same holds true today, though the Queen can grant someone permission to bestow a knighthood in her stead if she so wishes. Previous to this.
Okay, so she doesn't have to be the one doing the knighthood. She can, like, I allow you to knight this person.
If she's like is busy, or there's like maybe a bunch of people to do it at once, or I have no idea, but yeah. So yeah, you can have someone in your stead.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What are the...
Anyone of sufficient rank, such as a royal commander of the army, could knight a person that they deemed worthy of it. As for the act of knighting itself, while historically it might include ritualistic bathing and things of this nature, today it usually consists of a simple ceremony where a medal signifying rank is placed upon the awardee's chest by either the Queen or a designated member of the royal family. To facilitate this and make everything go as smoothly as possible, prior to the award ceremony, each recipient will be given a small pin to attach to their clothes, from which the medal will be hung, and the medals themselves will be laid out by a royal assistant on a fancy cushion at Buckingham Palace. As per tradition, those becoming a knight or dame will also be lightly tapped on each shoulder with a sword, first on the right and then on the left, after which they are...
So there's a lot of ceremony involved with it. That's more what it is, like the whole process of getting knighted, this whole ordeal.
For the British, I wouldn't say a lot of ceremony. It sounds like it's a fairly simple ceremony. You just go present
there's
yourself.
preparations involved.
Yeah, but it's not like
measurement.
The extravagance of like the Jubilee or a royal wedding or anything like coronation or anything like that. Sounds like it is fairly simple.
Given said medal or badge. Those of lower ranks in the orders who are not allowed to use the accolade Sir or Dame, they only get the medal. There's no sword tapping involved. As an event steeped in tradition, every aspect of the knighting process has a symbolic meaning, and the items associated with it are considered national treasures. For example, the stool people being knighted kneel on, known unsurprisingly as the kneeling stool, is over 100 years old and immaculately maintained to ensure that it remains in good condition. The sword used by the Queen is similarly steeped in tradition, originally being used by her father, George VI, when he served as Colonel of the Scots Guards. This sword is actually the Queen's personal weapon, and any member of the royal family knighting a person in her stead has to use their own. We should note here that, contrary to what popular culture will have you believe, the Queen doesn't say, "Arise, sir," whoever. Indeed, she doesn't have to say anything, although she has been known to make small talk or even joke during the ceremony because she's the Queen and she could do whatever the hell she wants. Quite.
I just love it. Just like it doesn't matter what she does, she can do whatever she wants.
Literally, if you want to learn more about that, do check out our video on what powers the Queen has, combined with our video on diplomatic immunity. It's truly fascinating. Indeed, the extent of this means that she could use that sword to lop off the head of the person being knighted, and technically she shouldn't have any trouble getting off scot-free. However, if she actually did this, the reality might be a little different than what the laws of the land strictly dictate. It is worth noting, however, that this would take something of a genuine revolution, as the Queen actually still retains an amazing amount of power over the laws of the land and any changes to them, as well as the ability to dissolve Parliament and even appoint whatever Prime Minister she would want. Another thing we'd like...
Yeah, it is interesting that they still can, like, at any point, like, be a dictator if they wanted.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay.
Even though they have like measurements in place to kind of have more of a democracy where people can vote.
They have a democracy.
Yeah, but at the same time, she can overthrow that.
I'm just saying that sounded bad how you said that. Like they're very much a democratic country, but
okay.
I'd like to point out is an aspect of ancient knighting processes that has sadly been lost to history, and that's the slap. You see, at one point, before being knighted, a person would be expected to stand there as the person knighting them slapped them across the face. Sources vary on what exactly this was supposed to signify, but the general hypothesis is that it was more or less a show of dominance by the person administering the slap. But whatever the case, to sum up, being knighted by the Queen disappointingly does not come with a fiefdom and peasants to work the land, nor any such tangible award. Indeed, you don't even get a custom sword, though we do know of at least one person who was knighted who went ahead and got one made anyway. That would be Sir Terry Pratchett. However, the laws of the UK mean that he cannot carry it around in his day-to-day life, despite, being a knight. So, all you get is a title and a bit of added notoriety, potentially providing some small intangible benefits like allowing you to get a table right away at a fancy restaurant when all the commoners have to wait in line.
That would be really cool, though, if they did make a custom sword for every person that was knighted.
That would be cool.
Because then, especially like as hundreds of years and stuff like that, sword would have just, I don't know, would be tied to that family or that person.
Yeah, that's true.
So that would be cool if they did that.
It'd be something you could pass down to your generations.
Exactly. Like,
my grandfather was knighted. Here's the sword.
Especially since you can't pass down the knighthood. Now, obviously, you can pass down the medals.
Right. That's true.
Like, so you have something.
Still get a medal.
But sword's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Into some bonus facts. While considered by most to be a great honour, knighthoods have been turned down in the past, with some sources claiming around 2% of the roughly 3,000 people singled out for a knighthood reject the honour. Notable people to do this include John Cleese and David Bowie, who reportedly turned down a knighthood twice. Usually the reasons for turning down a knighthood are not made public, and we only really know about them because of a Freedom of Information request that the BBC filed a few years ago. And now for another bonus.
Huh. So I wonder why you would want to turn it down, especially since both of them are British.
Yeah.
Fact. A knighthood can be revoked or annulled at the Queen's discretion if the person in question does something decidedly dishonourable and unbecoming of a knight. A notable example of this being Anthony Blunt, who served as the Queen's art advisor until it was revealed that he was actually a Soviet spy. And now for another bonus fact. Ed Sheeran was injured by Princess Beatrice after she attempted to jokingly knight him with a sword at the behest of singer James Blunt at a party. Apparently the princess does this all the time for partygoers with her father, Prince Andrew's ceremonial sword, though Ed Sheeran is the first person that she's injured doing so.
Wait, he was injured?
Yeah, I forget where I heard something, but yeah, that's why he got a little scar on his cheek.
Oh, wow.
So, that was an interesting video. I'm not for sure. I totally obviously remember. I don't remember. Already, I don't remember like all of the orders and stuff, but it is interesting that there's like levels to it.
Yeah, I
and
had no idea.
It is slightly disappointing that there's like not some kind of perk other than obviously there's huge respect.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
Well, I feel like in the older days, I would have thought there would have been monetary value to it as well, but I guess not.
I wonder if like back in the day, if you became a knight, if you were that much more like required to serve the king or the queen or royalty,
yeah.
like
it labeled yourself as like, I bestow on you my life kind of thing.
I don't know. In the movies, they definitely make it seem
like a bigger deal,
cooler. Or, like
not to belittle it by any means. It's still kind of cool, but it just doesn't seem as cool as we thought it was. I guess
it did say only 3,000 people, so it seems like a pretty select club.
Wait, is that what he was saying?
He said 3,000 people that have been knighted. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was talking about something else.
No, so there's not a lot of knights or knightess. I guess dames would be
dames.
the
Yeah.
female word.
Yeah, I think lords and ladies are a different standing.
Oh, totally, absolutely, yeah. Because that's something you can actually don't. I'm not gonna speak what I don't know about. I was gonna say I think that can be you can be born into it or.
Be born.
Yeah, like you're yeah, because like not right away,
as
but like
family
as
status,
you're I think it can be passed down through the generations.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something with us too. I don't feel like this is like everyday common knowledge.
Are we like just totally dumb for not knowing this? Is this
I don't know.
really very common?
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Please be safe. Take care and look after one another. Cheers.